How often have you made a commitment to yourself that you're going to do something, you're going to complete something, that you're going to work towards something, some educational program, whatever it is, and you fall off track at some point? And it's inevitable that at some point you're going to fall off track. If that's you, if you tend to procrastinate, if you tend to struggle with things, what I'm going to give you today is something, a skill that you can build that can make a massive difference for you. It's a momentum building skill. If you commit to do something right now, grow in some way, read a book, learn something, go through a program, take a certain action, if you commit to doing that, how much of the time do you actually follow through with that commitment? How do you build momentum in your life to continue following through with that commitment? What keeps you motivated? How do you keep it top of mind? Well, I'm going to give you a simple thing to do, a very simple thing that people have known for hundreds, if not thousands of years. That if you do it, when you do it, it'll have an impact on your momentum and how much you get done. And that is, wait for it because it's underwhelming in many ways, measure whatever it is that you're doing. If you measure what it is you're doing, you will have more success. I'll give you an example. If you measure your weight on a daily basis, you are more likely, even if you don't go on any diet or anything else, if you simply measure your weight, you are more likely, stats show this over and over, research shows this over and over, you are more likely to eat less chocolate cake and candies and whatever it is else that you don't want to be eating. You do, but you don't. And you are more likely to get more exercise, even if it's just walks out in the park. You're more likely simply by measuring it on a consistent basis. Why? Confirmation basis kicks in. We start thinking about these things and go, oh, wait a second, I'm going to be measuring myself tomorrow. Our minds are thinking that. And we go, maybe I won't eat this today. Maybe I will go for this walk. I'll walk up the stairs instead of take the elevator. And this has an impact. There are stories of people doing this and losing like 80, 90 pounds simply by measuring what's happening in their life. You can measure this with the success of your business or your budget. A budget is a measurement tool that you start becoming more aware of where your spending is. And instead of going, oh, my priority is Miss Vicky's potato chips, instead you go, oh, my priority is investing in my future through a 401k or RSPs or whatever it is. So that's another way to measure it. Accountability is another measurement system where you say you're going to do something and you do it or you don't do it. And you can measure, did I do it or not? This is something that I use constantly with clients, and they start to see far more progress in their lives and far more momentum simply by measuring something. Here's what I want you to do for today. What I want you to do for today, your action step for the day, is to simply go, what do I want to improve on? And how can I measure it? Now, the secret's going to be make it specific. Very specific. If it's specific, you can measure it. So for example, clean my office, that's not very specific, okay? If I say I'm going to spend 15 minutes every Friday evening cleaning my office, now it's specific. I can measure 15 minutes. How do you measure whether your office is clean or not? Does it include the dust? Does it include vacuuming? Does it include how much of the papers does it include? Does it include hiding things in a cupboard? What does it include? Whereas when you say I'm going to clean it for 15 minutes, every Friday afternoon before I go home from work or whatever, now it's specific, now it's measurable, okay? You can do this in so many ways. You can even do it with relationships. So I'll talk about relationships very briefly, and then I'll let you get on your way. So with relationships, a very difficult thing to measure, typically, what you can do is you can measure it by asking people the question. If every week you ask your significant other, or you ask a kid, or you ask a business partner, you ask a client, hey, how am I doing on a scale of 1 to 5, or 1 to 10, or 1 to 3, or whatever scale you want to use? How am I doing in this area? How am I doing in this area? How am I doing in listening to you? How am I doing with respecting you? How am I doing with, if you ask those questions, you will get an answer. And if you write down the answer every week, and you ask every single week, the people around you that matter to you, you will start to be able to measure it, and you will subconsciously start thinking. Confirmation bias will kick in. You start thinking, how do I do better with this? How do I think about this? It's amazing how just thinking about this, placing it in your head, is affected by measuring something, and how that will affect the outcome of something. Try this out. Do it consistently for a couple of months. Do it for 60 days, and see what changes start to happen. And enjoy the process. This will be fun.